Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare बोलिए रे Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna बोलिए बोलिए हरे राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bolo bolo Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, bolo bolo. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo bolo. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo bolo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Bolo Bolo. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Bolo Bolo. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. बोलिए Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. बोलिए Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, bolo bolo, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo bolo, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
A louder Hare Krishna. Hare Hari Bol. That's the spirit. So we welcome you. Today's very special program, Prerana Festival. It is 190th Prerana Festival. So we are very fortunate that we have very, very special speaker here. His Grace Shubha Vilas Prabhu. Hari Bol. And you will be really, really excited and enthralled to hear about him. Many of you know him. He's very famous as an author. And I will just tell you the details. Shubha Vilas Prabhu is a TEDx speaker, lifestyle coach, storyteller, and author. He studied patent law after completing his engineering degree. So he did engineering, but then he found an interesting thing like patent, has specialized in that. Then finally he chose to join ISKCON, spiritual seeker, associated with Shri Radha Gopinath Temple, Mumbai. He has served in various leadership roles in congregational development as well as management. He is the head of ISKCON Goa, where the congregation has been on a steady growth curve under his leadership. So in Goa, we have 10 centers and around 2,500 people attend weekly programs. And the list is unlimited actually. He heads Tulsi Books, and a publishing house for spiritual books. He's a pioneer of GCL, Gita Champions League. So every year we have GCL. So he was behind it. And now it has gone to the international level. So big Haribol for that. Oh. After 11 years of monkhood, he once again set on a mission to fulfill the objective of his life. He considers the whole world his home and works with individuals, youth, corporates, institutes, and governments around the world through his exclusive workshops, seminars, training modules, and learning retreats. The focus of his work is the application of scriptural wisdom in day-to-day living, addressing the needs of everyone through thought-provoking seminars. He has delivered more than 6,000 talks. How many? 6,000. Inspiring more than 5,75,000 people across 20 countries in last 10 years. And the Haribol can be louder and louder then, okay? Hare Krishna. He is also visiting faculty at several premier business management schools in India, including Indian Institute of Management, IIM, and Nursery Stage Institute of Management Studies, NMS, Mumbai. He has also been a guest speaker at prestigious Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, Boston, Dresden International University, Germany, Wits, Johannesburg, and several centers of Indian Institute of Technology in India. He is on the advisory board of MIT Pune's online education system. He has also spoken at Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Samsung, at their world headquarters at USA. As an author, writing books is an extension of his deep sense of responsibility towards society. He began with monumental task of writing a series of books on Ramayana. Since then, he's written bestsellers in succession on a wide range of subjects. Apart from his book series Ramayana, The Game of Life, he has also authored the bestseller Open-Eyed Meditations, Perfect Love, 5.5 Ways of Lasting Relationship, and The Magic of Friendship. So let us welcome His Grace Shubha Vilas Prabhu to our Prerana Festival by loudly chanting 3 times.
Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरदारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरदारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरदारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे। जय राधा गोपीनाथ राधा गोपीनाथ राधे। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल नित्य गौर हरि बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतः पदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथां वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Shute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Keep quiet, okay? Very, very happy and grateful to be amidst all of you all here today. Very grateful to the organizers of the Prerana Festival for having invited me here. Especially grateful to my friend Nursery Prabhu for introducing me. It's a great honor to be here amidst all of you all. Please, if all of you all can keep your very dear mobile phones on silent mode, please. Those who don't know how to keep them on silent mode are technologically challenged. You can ask somebody else next to you to help you. So today we'll be talking on the topic, the magic of friendships. Over the last many years, I've been traveling very, very extensively. Of course, in the last 2 years, I've been traveling online only. I've done probably about at least 1,500 to 2,000 lectures online in the last 2 years of Corona. Every single day, almost 2 or 3 lectures I'm doing. And I've been dealing and connecting with youngsters across the world, practically in every country in the world for the last few years. And what I realized in my interaction with hundreds and thousands of youngsters is, there is one thing that really forms the basis of who every young person is. And you know what that one thing is? The kind of friends you have. And I'll begin with a story. Many years back, I met this one young boy. And when I met him, this is the first time I met him. And this guy was really, really fat and obese, to say the least. And when I went to meet him, he was sitting on a sofa. He was hardly able to get up to, talk to me and meet me. And I spent a few minutes with him just talking about general things. And then I asked him a question. I asked him, "Are you happy?" The moment I asked him this question, this guy started crying. So I didn't know whether I asked him the wrong question, I mean, nowadays, if you ask anything, people get offended. I only asked him, "Are you happy?" And this guy was crying. And I asked him, "What happened?" And this person told me his story. He said, till a few years back, he was a sports person. He was best. He was actually representing his school in cricket, in football, in so many games actually. I couldn't believe it. This guy is not able to stand up also, and he's saying he's been representing the school in so many games. I asked him what happened. And this boy told me about his friend. So he and another boy, two of them, were best friends from school, from childhood literally. And all through school, they were playing together. They played all the games together. They won so many tournaments together. And they did so much together. But overnight, this boy, his friend's father got transferred to another city and they lost touch completely. And from the moment his friend went away, this guy has gone in a downhill. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know how to handle his life. And the friend was replaced by food. Every time he would remember his friend, he would want to eat something. And slowly, he became a foodie and we ate so much. And it is called emotional eating, by the way. It's a psychological term called emotional eating. And just like this boy, there are so many others who are consciously, unconsciously affected by the kind of friends they have. I can tell you, when I did engineering, I can tell you at least 50% of the boys who did engineering with us, they did because somebody else is doing engineering. Oh, interested in engineering. They were not at all interested in engineering, but just because one friend went in, they also went in. That's all, So it is said that you are an average of the 5 people that you associate with the most. So you tell who those 5 people are that you associate with the most. Who are those 5 people with whom you have maximum WhatsApp chats, maximum phone calls? Then you are the average of those 5. Now imagine the choice. If you choose those 5 of the most stupidest of friends, you are the average of those stupid people, essentially. And you make the choice of the best of friends. You become the average of the best of people. There are many relationships in life that we don't have a choice about. When I meet so many young boys and girls, little tiny ones who are in school, so many children tell me, I wish I had somebody else as my parents. Actually, so many kids tell me this. We don't want you as parents, we want somebody else, So the parents are shocked to hear that from their kids, Unfortunately, we don't have choices of changing our parents, Many times we don't have choices of changing our professors in schools and colleges, right? You hate a teacher also, you have to tolerate that fellow for a year at least, whatever number of years. So there are many people you don't have choices about. You have to just tolerate them. You have to bear with them, basically. Sometimes for the rest of your life. Eventually, when many of you will get married, again, one more person you have to deal with for the rest of your life. And then if you have children eventually, then again, you don't have choices in all those cases. But there's one relationship which is your personal choice. And that is the kind of friends that you choose. So please choose your friends carefully. So today's seminar, what I'm going to speak today, it's going to be a guidebook for a lot of y'all. It's going to be a guidebook for a lot of y'all on friendship. I'm only going to speak for 1 hour. And in this 1 hour, I'm going to download so much information about friendship into your minds. Hopefully, all of it will stick in, or a lot of it will remain in your minds. And of course, if you want to read more, the book is there. This book, Magic of Friendship, is a book that I've written for youngsters. The target audience for this book is teenagers. Literally all of y'all. And the reason I wrote this book is because the number of youngsters that I have been counseling for the last so many years, and almost every second thing I'm telling them is about friendship only. Because most of your world revolves around friends, isn't it? I mean, does any of your world revolve around parents? Absolutely not. Your world doesn't revolve around anybody except friends. And these people form the most powerful basis of your life. So please get ready. Fasten your seat belts. And I'm going to take you all on a journey, very magical journey, a very beautiful journey, but a very important journey of friendships. Okay? All ready? Okay, good. So let me begin by telling you all about a concept, something known as levels of friendship. In English, there's only one word for friend. What is it? Friend. Right? But in Sanskrit, there are 4 words for friends. And these 4 words actually talk about different levels of friendship that you have. And at the end of this session, all of you will realize that all of you also have levels of friends. We just don't realize it. But when you remember these words that I'm going to share with you all now, you will actually be able to categorize your friends into different levels. And that will actually help you prioritize and give time to the right kind of people. The first level of friends are known as bandhus. The word bandhu in Sanskrit, technically, if translated, means associate, colleague. Your classmates are not your friends, they're your bandhus. Your work colleagues are not your friends, they are your bandhus. Your neighbors are not your friends, they are your bandhus. People who are, in your school WhatsApp groups and college WhatsApp groups and whatever WhatsApp groups you have, they are not your friends. What are they to you? Bandhus. Bandhus means associates. All those thousands, hundreds and thousands of people that are on Facebook, who are they? So if somebody tells me I have 500 friends on Facebook, I'll tell them, Baba, what are you talking about? Right? What is this? They all bandhus. Please do not confuse the idea of deeper level of friendships with bandhus. You will have a lot of bandhus in your life. You should have a lot of bandhus, in fact. The more bandhus you have, the more networking you have. And the more networking you have, the more chances of you being successful in life. So please go ahead and network with a lot of people. Connect with a lot of people. Bandhus are people who will be useful to you someday or the other. And the more good people you have in your contact list, the more good people you have that you remember and you are able to connect with, the better it is for you in life in general, right? But bandhus are not people who are interested in you. If you think you have 500 friends on Facebook and they're all interested in you, sorry. None of them are interested in you. They're interested in themselves, right? They're not interested in you. They're only interested in themselves. But they're useful people. You should have bandhus. I'm saying you should have bandhus. I'm not saying you should not have bandhus. You should have bandhus. But don't think they are your friends. They are your bandhus, they are your associates. And as I said, they always form a very important type of relationship which is reciprocal. That means you help them, they will help you. You don't help them, they will not help you. Simple. It's a very transactional relationship, basically. Like in the Mahabharata, there is this story of there was a test arranged for the Pandavas and the Kauravas. And the test was very simple. It was a food test. Now you might say, wow, very interesting test. So what the Pandavas and Kauravas were, they were invited for a very big feast. Okay. And there was a table in which plates were put, and they were sitting in front of each other, opposite each other. And all of them, before they entered the room, their hands were tied with a stick. And at the edge of that stick, they were given spoons. And now they were told, go and eat. Now, if a stick is tied over here, you can't bend your hand, right? How will you eat? So they all were trying all different stunts, taking spoon like this and throwing from top, Tried everything possible, intelligently to eat. But they just couldn't eat. The best of food, but they couldn't eat. Finally, one of them, Yudhishthir, he found an idea. He took the spoon and he fed Duryodhana who was sitting in front of him. And Duryodhana was shocked. The enemies, technically, But Yudhishthir realized that there's no way we can eat. We'll all remain hungry if we keep our egos together. So he fed Duryodhana and Duryodhana fed him. And that is how all of them fed each other in front, and then they all ate. This is what bandhus are. Just there to help you and they will help you also because you will help them. Simple. Very clear transaction, basically. The second level of friendship are known as sakhas. So first is bandhus and second is sakha. So sakhas are friends. There will be some people in your life who are not happy being bandhus. They will want to know more about you. So they will enter into the second level of friendship, and they try to look for ways in which they can complement you. So bandhus usually compete with you. They compete with you. But sakhas don't compete with you. They try to complement you. That means they try to encourage you, they try to see some good in you, and they try to understand you more. They'll ask what do you like to eat, what do you like to wear. So they try to get to know more about you. So these people are the second level of friendships. In fact, if you have 1,000 bandhus in your life, you will have about 50 sakhas. That's the numbers. I'm just giving you some calculations, So don't expect too many sakhas, because sakhas expect time from you. Can you give time to 1,000 people? Impossible. Nobody can give time to 1,000 people. So sakhas, they actually expect time from you, and they are also ready to invest time in you. So they are interested in your success, because when you become successful, they feel happy, they feel satisfied. And the more you grow, the more satisfied they become. So sakhas are not people who envy your growth. Bandhus will definitely envy your growth. So if you find colleagues around you, so many people come and tell me, my friends envy me. I said, come on, they are not your friends. They are bandhus. So you talk about office colleagues and they misunderstand them to be friends, and you start thinking that friends are envying me. So as I said, if you have 1,000 sakhas, if you have 1,000 bandhus, you'll have 50 sakhas. The next level is even deeper. They are known as priya sakhas. This is the third level of friendship. These are known as best friends. Priya sakhas are a very rare species. If you have 1,000 bandhus, you will have 50 sakhas, and you will have 4 or 5 priya sakhas. Literally, 4 or 5 priya sakhas. That's all. And I'm sure, as I'm telling you all these categorizations, you in your mind, you're able to figure out, right? Who falls in bandhu category, who falls in... So from tomorrow, if somebody says, I'm your friend, you tell them, Baba, you are not my friend, you are my bandhu. So the moment you understand it intelligently, you understand it in a mental level, you actually can relate to people accordingly, right? So priya sakhas are very, very special people. Sakhas, bandhus and sakhas might make you happy most of the times. But sometimes they might let you down. But priya sakhas will never let you down. In fact, even behind your back, they will not talk bad about you. Priya sakhas are people that will defend you even when you are not there. They will stand for you even when you are not there. I'll give you a very simple way to identify a priya sakha. 25 years later, if you make one phone call, you connect with that person exactly the same level at which you left them. That's a priya sakha. In my life, I'm fortunate that I have a couple of priya sakhas. And these are people that I can reach out to any time in my life. In fact, I've dedicated my book to some of my priya sakha friends. And these are people that have stood with me through my thick and thin. They're not necessarily, some of them are not even Hare Krishna devotees. They're there in their own worlds. But one phone call, that's all. My relationship with them is exactly the way I left it. I'll give you an example. Once we were in Calcutta, and we were arranging a program for His Holiness Radha Swami Maharaj. And there were 2 people who were the chief guests for that program. And those 2 people told about their lives. Fascinating. They became friends when they were in 3rd standard. And when we met them, both of them were 80 years old. Imagine more than 70 years of friendship. They did their schooling together, did their college together, they started working together, they started business together, they became multi-millionaires together, they got married and they started staying in very similar compounds, and the children are growing up together. Imagine 70 years of friendship. This is a Priya Sakha. Very rare. Please do not give anybody this tag of Priya Sakha unless they earn it from you. So don't just give anybody best friend category. Let them struggle for it. Let them prove that they are worth that, that special category of being a best friend. And only when you find the right kind of people, give them that very special category. Nowadays, people are so confused, एक दिन बेस्ट फ्रेंड बनाया बोले नहीं अगले दिन उसको डिलीट कर दो अनफ्रेंड कर देते हैं ना that's not how friendship works you can't unfriend people, you have to select people carefully. So when you make the right choices, you don't have to unfriend, you don't have to block people, you don't have to delete people, you don't have to create some political things. You just have to choose the right people. And I'm going to tell you how to choose also. So first category are bandhus. So if you have 1,000 bandhus, the second category are sakhas. You may have 50 sakhas. The third category are priya sakhas. You may have 4 or 5 priya sakhas. And then the fourth category are known as suhrit. What is the word? Suhrit. So the word suhrit is a very special term. It doesn't have an English translation actually, So at best you can call it somebody a mentor or something like that. But that's like really a wrong word, Suhrit doesn't have an English translation. Sorry, I don't have a translation for it. But suhrits are 1 in a million. You will be very fortunate if you have one suhrit in your life. I'll explain to you what is a suhrit or who is a suhrit. Suhrits are when you are in trouble, when you are in the biggest trouble of your life, the first person you call is your suhrit. If you call the wrong person, then you had it. But at least you should have one person in your life who is wise enough to help you. And all of us fortunately have access to at least one person who is smart enough to help us. And suhrits are the first people you will call when you are very happy and you want to share a very joyful news. Typically, each one of us should find at least one suhrit in your life. Suhrit may not be of your age also. It can be older than you. Your spiritual master, guru can be a suhrit. Somebody who is a mentor or your guide, your spiritual guide can be a suhrit. Someone who is, sometimes your parents can be a suhrit also. Or an elder brother or elder sister can be a suhrit. Someone who is wise enough to guide you. And at the same time, who will not judge you for who you are. That's what a suhrit is. Let me explain a story. Once a boy went to his teacher and he asked his teacher that, "Ma'am, how many friends should I have in life?" So the teacher told him, "There's a mango tree outside. Go and get me the mango on the topmost branch of the tree." Now, this boy was not able to understand what question he asked and what answer she's giving, So the boy said, "Anyway, teacher has told I have to do." So he went outside and he looked, it was really high up there. So he called a group of his friends and they started coming together. They formed a pyramid, human pyramid, tried to get the mango. Then they called many more friends and lot of friends tried to form a human pyramid to get the mango. So this boy was thinking, you need that many friends to reach up and get the mango. That's what he thought in his mind. And somehow, finally, they tried, but the whole pyramid collapsed. They went to the teacher and asked the teacher, how do I get this mango? The teacher said, it's very simple. Go and get a ladder, put it up, and you can climb and get it. So the teacher said, you need that many friends till you find that one person who can give you the good advice. You have as many friends as you want, but at least एक तो दिमाग वाला होना चाहिए, है कि नहीं? मतलब in today's world, the way friendship is, if somebody is in big trouble, how do friends help? They'll say, "Come on, let's go and have a drink." The fellow has already fallen. and you make him fall further down from a fall. You know? So that's the unfortunate level of friendships that we have today. At least you should have one person in your life who is intelligent enough to help you during the struggles of your life. And that friend is an absolute must. So, bandhus, sakhas, priya sakhas, and suhrats. Okay? Now, how do you choose your friends? As I said, there are many relationships in life you can't choose, right? But friendship is a relationship that you can choose. So, how do you choose a friend? Let me tell you a fantastic story from the Panchatantra. This story will blow you off. I'm sure you must have heard of this story in your childhood, but what I'm going to tell you, you will never have heard it before. Okay? One time there was a monkey. The name of this monkey was Raktamukha. He was staying on a tree, and it was a berry tree. Every day this monkey would eat berries. He loved the berries. And the only thing he would do all day long was keep eating berries. One day, a crocodile, whose name was Karalamukha, happened to come to that tree. And he was sitting under the tree, resting. And this monkey, he thought, there's a guest come to me, so I should feed him some berries. So the monkey dropped some berries into the mouth of the crocodile. The crocodile loved the berries, very tasty. The crocodile said, can you give me more? The monkey dropped more. They began to talk to each other. Slowly, over a period of time, they became very close friends. And every day the crocodile started coming and spending hours with the monkey and eating berries. One day the crocodile's wife got suspicious. She asked him, where do you go all day long? You go missing. The crocodile said, I found a new friend. The wife became very suspicious. She thought he had found a girlfriend or something, you know. So she didn't believe him only. So the next day, this crocodile, went and got berries for the wife. Just to prove that, he's having a friend monkey and was giving him tasty berries. The wife said, see, she ate the berries. She loved the berries. She said, if the taste of the berries is so nice, the taste of the heart of the monkey must be really even better. I want to eat the monkey's heart. The crocodile said, how can I get what are you saying? He's my friend. And the wife gave that famous dialogue. She said, if you love me, then you get me the monkey's heart. Bas. After this, there is no discussion only, no scope of discussion. So the next day morning, the crocodile went to the monkey and he told the monkey that, I want to take you on a joyride today, Can you come? We'll go into the river and I'll give you a nice joyride. So the monkey jumped on the back of the crocodile. They went right in the middle of the river. The crocodile felt, this guy is going to die. Better I tell him the truth, he's my friend after all. The crocodile told him, I'm sorry, I'm not taking on a joyride. This is your last ride of your life. My wife wants to eat your heart because she feels your heart must be so tasty because you're eating berries all day long. The monkey realized he's in big trouble. If he doesn't do anything, he's dead. Suddenly the monkey said, oh no, why didn't you tell me? I left my heart on the tree. Now the crocodile, he started panicking. The wife very clearly gave him instruction, I want to eat the monkey heart, So the crocodile was sweating in the middle of the river, Whether it is human being, crocodile, fear is very dangerous, Especially this particular type of fear. So the monkey said, no, don't worry. We'll just go back to my tree. I'll get my heart and we'll go home. The crocodile said, fine. They turned around, went to the tree. And the monkey jumped up, went on the top branch of the tree. And from there, he quoted a Sanskrit verse. The monkeys in those days, he could speak in Sanskrit also. The monkey from top said, Dadati pratigrinati guyyam akhyati prichati bhungte bojayate cheva shadvida priti lakshanam. How many of you recognize this verse? Anybody recognize this verse? This verse is from Upadeshamrit, Nectar of Instruction, written by Rupa Goswami. But this verse originally is from Panchatantra. Rupa Goswami took the verse from Panchatantra and this verse is spoken by the monkey. Now imagine. The 11 most important verses that any human being needs to know, one of them is spoken by a monkey. And this monkey tells this crocodile, these are 6 ways in which you can make friendships with anybody. loving exchanges. Dadati pratigrinati means giving gifts and accepting gifts. Guhyam akhyati means revealing your heart and confidence and hearing the other person's heart and confidence. And bhungte bojayate means going to see your friend's house to eat and you inviting your friend to eat. So these are 6 ways in which friendship increases, love increases between people. And the monkey said, these 6 things should be practiced between people who are like-minded. Rupa Goswami, in this particular section, he uses a very interesting word. He says, Swajatiya Vaishnav. What is the meaning of Swajatiya Vaishnav? We don't believe in jati as such, right? You will not find anybody asking you, what is your jati, what is your caste, and that's not Krishna consciousness at all. But here, what is the meaning of Swajatiya? The word Swajatiya means like-mindedness. So the monkey is saying, my heart is on the tree. What does it mean? It's not that physically he has kept his heart over there. It means my heart is in the place where I feel safe. So there are some people you feel safe with. There are some people, so safe is not just from a physical safety point of view. Safe also is from the point of view of emotional safety. I know so many people who are in a group of friends, constantly they get bullied. Constantly, peers, P-E-E-R-S, peers, right? Peers means equals. They keep piercing you. Isn't that what happens? You know, in most groups today, every day you find one bakara. Ek bakara pakado, and you rag him like anything. Entertainment for the day, you know. So that is not how friendships work. That's not how friendship should be. So that means when you are in such a kind of friendship where you experience emotional hurt on a constant basis, it simply means you don't feel safe there. Which means your heart is not there. Where is your heart? On the tree. And what is the tree? The tree represents all those people that make you feel safe. The tree represents your home because your family is a place where you feel safe. For a lot of people, even that doesn't happen. You know, family is a place where they don't feel safe. The tree represents any place, any group of people, any community, any society where you feel safe, where you feel loved, where you feel cared for. And like-mindedness means it is not that I like chili paneer pizza and you like chili paneer pizza, we're friends. That's not the basis of like-mindedness. It's not about, the color of beadbag that we have. It is not about type of mobile phone that we have. It is not about, whether you take the Virar fast and I also take Virar fast. That's not what friendship is. Unfortunately today, that's the level at which it has been reduced to. We both take the same train, same time, means destiny wants us to be friends. That's a very sad thing. So like-mindedness is about values. Do 2 people believe in the same value systems? Do 2 people believe in the same principles of life? Do 2 people believe in the same ethics, morals, standards of thinking? So when 2 people are in the same thought process, belief systems, values, ethics, principles, then, and even culture to a great extent, then there can be like-mindedness. It doesn't matter whether somebody is eating this type of pizza, somebody is eating another type of pizza. That's not what it is. Go deeper. And that's what this monkey is trying to tell us. So this one monkey can tell us so many deeper aspects of friendship than we can ever learn from any of your schools and colleges and some of the biggest institutes in the world. Friendships are at 3 levels. It grows, or rather 3 stages, I would say. The first stage of friendship is known as a nursery stage. I'm sure all of you have gone to nurseries, right? Nurseries are small plants are kept, in small pots, basically. They need a lot of watering, they need a lot of care, they need right kind of sunlight, they need right kind of protection. So most friendships start at the nursery level. It means it needs a lot of care and watering. After a certain amount of time, friendship grows to a garden level. So in the nursery level, many misunderstandings can come and friendships can go away. So in fact, lot of the nursery plants never grow only to become plants. Why? They don't get the right environment. They die when they're small. So a lot of friendships die in the beginning stages only because of some misunderstanding, some kind of situation. And then the friendship goes to the next level of garden. In the garden level, you don't need so much care as much as you need in nursery level. But even in the garden level, goats can come in, wild animals can come in and eat away the plants. Insects can come in and eat away the plants. There also little care has to be taken. And then friendship grows to a forest level. Have you ever seen anybody taking care of a forest? Koi hai kya Mali, gardener taking care of forest? The forest can take care of itself. Forest doesn't need anybody. So when friendship reaches a stage of forest, it doesn't need anyone to take care. It takes care of itself. Till the friendship is in the nursery stage and the garden stage, you need a lot of care. You need to really be careful to protect that friendship. Protect it from the wrong kind of people. Protect it from the wrong kind of association. Protect it from politics. Protect it from backbiting. Protect it from all the wrong mindsets. And then slowly you come to a level where the friendship is so powerful that nothing can shake it. In the Mahabharata, we have the friendship between Krishna and Arjuna. And that friendship is considered to be like the highest level of friendship. And Krishna and Arjuna's friendship was at the level of Suhrit, deepest level of friendship. Krishna was Arjuna's best friend. He was Arjuna's relative. But more than anything else, he was Arjuna's mentor. Arjuna was, Arjuna could do anything for him, and Krishna could do anything for Arjuna. That is the level of connection they had. One time, Narad Muni went to meet Krishna in Dwaraka. And that time he came to know that Krishna and Arjuna are sleeping. They already had gone to sleep. And Narad was desperate to have darshan of Krishna. So he said, can I just go and have darshan? So that gatekeeper left Narad Muni inside. He went to the bedroom. And in the bedroom, he saw something shocking. He saw Krishna and Arjuna were sleeping on the same bed. Arjuna's leg was on Krishna's chest. Some people keep roaming around and sleep, right? So, Narad was shocked. He said, how do you believe that a devotee like Arjuna can put his leg on Krishna's chest? So later on, Krishna got up. So Narad Muni asked him, my dear Krishna, what is this? Arjuna is offending you by putting his leg on your chest like that. Krishna said, first of all, who told you to come when we were sleeping? You don't have any business over there. So anyway, if you have a doubt, you go and touch Arjuna anywhere, you'll get your answer. So Narad Muni goes in and he just touches Arjuna's body. So we have pulse, right? Some different places we have pulse. When Narad Muni touched Arjuna's body, everywhere he touched, he could only hear Krishna, 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 Krishna. Imagine the extent to which Arjuna was absorbed in Krishna, the extent to which Arjuna was connected with Krishna. So that is the level at which Arjuna and Krishna's friendship was. So I would like all of y'all to go home today and do this exercise. Make a list of the 4 levels of friendships which you personally have. And these are the 4 layers of friendship. So you and your closest connection is a Suhrit. A little further is Priya Sakhas, a little further is Sakhas, and Bandhus are the outermost list, okay? So I want all of you to sit down at home and actually make a list. Your Bandhu list can be exhaustive, it can be as many as possible. The Sakha, Priya Sakha list and the Suhrit list has to be very specific. Don't allow just anyone to enter the Priya Sakha and Suhrit list. Be very choosy. And right now, even if you don't have a Priya Sakha and Suhrit, it's fine. No problem. But the day you choose someone, this person is worth bringing my Suhrit, it has to be a very conscious choice. Okay? All of you all will do this exercise? Yes. Okay, great. Now, I'm going to ask you all a very important question. We prepare for everything in life, isn't it? We prepare for job interviews. We prepare for examination to get into colleges and universities. We prepare for, nowadays, so many entrance tests, right? So for every level, there is preparation. For going from one level of job to the next level, you prepare. At every level, you prepare. The question is, do we prepare ourselves for friendships? Any entrance exam to decide whether you're a good friend or a bad friend, Is there any kind of preparation that you all go through to get into relationships? No. Unfortunately, all of us, we are pushed into a relationship, say, chalo, abhi, find your way. And a lot of people get lost. So it is very important to prepare yourself for friendships. Let me tell you a story, what I mean by this. So according to the Greek mythology, there was a Greek god named Zeus. Okay? And this guy, this Greek god named Zeus, was giving something to the first man. And he gave 2 bags to the first man, the first human being. One bag, listen carefully, one bag contained the faults of that person, of that man, right? His own faults. And the second bag contained the faults of everybody else. So what Zeus did was put both the bags on a stick. He hung them on a stick and gave the stick to the man. But only one mistake Zeus did. You know what he did? He put the bag that contained other people's faults in front, and the bag that contains this man's own fault behind, and gave it to him like this. So this guy was carrying it. So therefore, he became expert in seeing other people's faults. And he can't see his own faults. All of us are exactly like this man, if you actually see. Every one of us have a expertise in finding faults in others. And you tell yourself, can you find a fault in yourself? Absolutely not. So most of us, however ugly you are, you go and stand in front of the mirror. What you will see? You will see the most beautiful person looking back at you. Everybody else feels the soul is ugly, but I am convinced that I am handsome. You understand? This is known as a Zeus fault. There was a lady who, with her husband, they shifted to a new house. And the next day morning, they were having breakfast together. And while the husband was eating and she was sitting there and eating, she saw outside the window of their house. Outside the window, the other neighbor's house, there were lot of cloth hanging, washed clothes. And this lady made a comment. She said, what dirty clothes these people, they don't know how to wash also properly. Dirty laundry. The husband didn't say anything. He just kept quiet and continued eating. Next day morning, same thing happened. She said, these people don't know how to wash clothes also. I think I'll go and tell them how to use a washing machine. The husband didn't say anything. The next day, she was almost going to pass the comment. She was shocked to see the laundry is clean today. She said, I wonder how they learn to clean the laundry nicely. The husband said, I only clean the window. Laundry was nice only all the days. But their house window was dirty, He cleaned the window and the cloth outside appeared clean suddenly. For a lot of us, when we look at ourselves, we tend to see ourselves as perfect. But when we look at others, we see them as having flaws. This is the biggest problem in us having friends. And I can tell you, I can vouch for that. If you don't have good friends, this is the root of all the problem. The root of all the problem is that you see more faults in others and less faults in yourself. God has given all of us 2 things from the day you're born. One is a mirror and second is a lens. The lens is used to see others and the mirror is used to see yourself. I'm sure you would have heard this. When somebody is very angry at you, what they say, go and look at your face in the mirror. Isn't it? आईने में चेहरा देखा क्या? People say like that, right? What do they expect you to do? They expect you to go and see your own faults. But you go and look in the mirror, what do you see? No fault. Everything is fine, This is where the problem is. So God has given all of us two things. One is a mirror and one is a lens. The specs should be used to see good in others. And the mirror should be used to see fault in yourself. The more you can see fault in yourself, the more you will be able to be a better version. All fights are all about, I am right, you're wrong. Because I'm seeing it from my perspective only. I don't see it from the other person's perspective at all. And therefore, it is so very important to prepare yourself for friendship. Let me tell you a story from the Mahabharata that will help you understand this a little better. One time, Dronacharya called his disciples for a small test. He called Duryodhan first. And he told Duryodhan, I want you to go into the kingdom and find at least one person who is better than you. Duryodhan went, traveled around Hastinapur, met thousands of people, and came back and said, sorry, I couldn't even find one person better than me. Because every person I saw had one fault which I didn't have. And this fellow had a list of names of people and faults that they had. Every single person he could find one flaw in, one fault in. Dronacharya was shocked. What expertise! And then he called Yudhishthir and he told him, I want you to go into the kingdom and find at least one person who is worse than you. Yudhishthir went, came back, he met thousands of people and he said, I'm sorry, I couldn't even find one person worse than me. Because every person I saw had one good quality which I didn't have. In every single person, Yudhishthir found one good thing to learn, to absorb, to be inspired by. Dronacharya called both of them and said, I found the two people that I was looking for. He told Duryodhan, the one person who is better than you is Yudhishthir. And he told Yudhishthir, the one fellow who is worse than you is this fellow, Duryodhan. The idea of wanting to look at good in others is such a crucially important idea. And that is the basis of friendship. The more we can find good in people, the better friendships become. The more we can find faults in people, the worse friendship becomes. The best kind of friends are those that can really, really inspire us to become a best version of ourselves. Unfortunately, when we try our best to connect with people, what are we trying to do? We're trying to pull people down, isn't it? This is like a basket of crabs. I don't know if you have seen crabs being transported, When they transport crabs, they don't cover the lid of crabs. You know why? Because when one crab goes up, all other crabs pull him down. As a result, no crab ever gets out of the basket. Now imagine if all crabs get together and decide, सब लोग साथ में बाहर जाएंगे. All of them can go out easily. But no, the crab mentality is so powerful. When one crab is going up, the others are busy pulling him down. And that's exactly what happens to all of us. You think about how much time you spend encouraging friends to go up and how much time you spend pulling them down. You'll realize it. Most people spend most of the time pulling people down and very less time encouraging people to go up. And the kind of friends that you should really be looking out for is people who encourage you to grow, people who encourage you to find your potential. And those are the kind of people that will really be the best quality friends. The problem with a lot of us is we think we know everything. The problem with all of us is we think we know everything. One guy went to a restaurant and he went to the waiter over there and he said, Sir, do you have any solution for hiccups? Hitchki, The waiter said, yes. He bent down, picked up a mob on the ground, hit him on the face. Hit him. This fellow said, why did you hit me? He said, see, your hiccup is gone. Instant solution. This fellow said, I never had the hiccup. My wife sitting outside in the car has hiccup. The problem with us is that we want to give a solution before understanding the problem. Most of us we somehow think we are Superman or Superwoman, you know, and we somehow think we have solutions to all problems of life. This is where the problem is. The more we start thinking that I know everything and others are stupid, you know. So this is typical, at least in India, this mindset is very prevalent, you know. Everybody else around me is stupid. I am the only intelligent fellow surviving in this world, you know. And the world depends on me so much. You know? Imagine with this attitude, we start developing friendships. What kind of friendship will we develop? That is an unfortunate reason why most people are alone. When I go to IIMs, I begin my lecture in IIMs by telling this. Now imagine, these are, you know, IIM is like practically most of them, they think they're demigods only, you know. So somehow they tend to feel like that. I begin my lecture like this. I tell them, I begin my lecture by telling, talent is the most useless thing you can have in life. And they are they get zapped. Because most of them are there because they're talented, isn't it? I begin my lecture by saying that talent is the most useless thing you can have in life. Why? Because some of the most talented people are also some of the most loneliest people in the world. If you understand it. Some of the most talented people are also some of the most loneliest people in the world. Why? Simply because they feel they know everything and everybody else is stupid. Let me tell you all another story. Again from the Greek mythology, and a very interesting story at that. There was a Greek god whose name was Narcissus. So this guy, when he was born, he was very handsome. And he was so handsome, it was unbelievably beautiful. So when he was born, there was a prophet who actually made a prediction. And it's a very interesting prediction. He said, this boy will be his own greatest enemy. How can he be your own enemy? So the parents were very confused. How can someone be his own greatest enemy? So the parents understood that it must be something connected with his beauty. So the parents, they made a rule in the house. No mirror anywhere in the house. So Narcissus grew up never seeing himself. Now imagine, you've never seen your own self. But somehow Narcissus had a feeling that I look good. Because everybody else is praising him, So he's the most handsome person ever in the universe. So he grew up with a kind of pride in himself. And over a period of time, this pride became very, very big. And he became 16 years old. So one day he was in the forest, roaming around in the forest. And there was one beautiful girl whose name was ISKCON. She saw Narcissus, she fell in love with him immediately. And she started following Narcissus everywhere, just to be around him. And Narcissus felt somebody is following me. He turned around once and he asked, who's there? Like that he asked. And that ISKCON, just to make fun, just to have like a lighter moment, she imitated Narcissus and she said, who's there? So Narcissus got irritated. He left, he walked ahead. And again he felt somebody is following him. He turned around and he said, who's there? And this ISKCON, again in his same voice, she also said, who's there? And then Narcissus was really irritated. So ISKCON realized that I have unnecessarily irritated him. After some time, she came out in front of him and she told him, I really like you a lot. Narcissus, he didn't even answer her. He didn't even care because he felt he is so handsome and so good and he just couldn't relate to somebody else. He walked away. ISKCON felt so bad that she actually disappeared in that particular place. So even today, when you go to mountains and valleys and forests, you can hear ISKCON. That's what the Greek mythology says. But anyway, the story continues. There was a Greek god of revenge. He felt very upset with what Narcissus did to Eco. So you know what this Greek god of revenge did? He arranged for a situation where Narcissus reached a river and he saw his own reflection in the river. And he madly fell in love with his own reflection. Imagine, you know? He loved himself so much, he couldn't get his eyes off that reflection of himself. I don't think any of y'all are so self-obsessed, you know? And this guy became so obsessed with his own image, he jumped in to embrace himself, you know? And he drowned in the river and died. And from that day onwards, this word, narcissistic, has come. You know, I don't know if you all know this English word called narcissism. So narcissistic person means a person who thinks too much about himself. In Bombay language, it is called Ded Shana. So people who think too much about themselves end up being alone. So suppose if any of y'all are in a situation where you don't have good friends, just think about how narcissistic you are. So narcissistic people are people who know all answers, who don't need anybody's advice, who think they are always right, who think everybody else is stupid, and who think that they are He-Man or Superman or Superwoman, something like that. You know, that is what narcissistic people are, basically. And such people can never have good friends. So if some of you are in a situation where nobody wants to be with you, if some of you are in a situation where everybody is trying to avoid you, if some of you are in a situation where the moment you come, people run away in another direction, you know, think about it very carefully. Maybe there is a narcissist in y'all also, right? Because of which people totally avoid you. And the most amazing thing is, somebody who is in such a situation doesn't think it is his fault. He thinks, "Arey, nobody understands my value only." But they don't have the ability to think, maybe I am the person who is wrong. Maybe I am the person who is in trouble. So now, so far, I've been telling you all about how, I've been telling about levels of friendship. Then I've been telling you all about the mirror and the lens. And then I've been telling you all about the idea of looking at faults in oneself and not just looking at faults in others, right? Now, I'm going to tell you all what you need to do to be a good friend. The most important thing is get out of your small world. Most important thing is get out of your small world. Most people who are in their own world, they don't think other people have problems only. In Ayodhya, when the citizens of Ayodhya were asked a question by Dasharath Maharaj, why do you want Ram to be the king? You know what? They said many things. Of the many things they said, one of the things that the citizens of Ayodhya they said is, we want him to be the king because when we are happy, Ram comes to our house and he is happier than our family members. And when we are going through sad situations in our life, Ram comes to our house and he cries more than our family members. They don't say that he comes and solves our problems. What they say? They say he comes and cries with us. What does it mean? It means Ram was able to empathize with other people. One of the most powerful ways in which friendship grows is when you start thinking about what others are feeling, how others are feeling, what they're feeling. The more you think about others, their feelings, their concerns, their needs, the better it is for you on a personal level. The more you think about your own needs, interests, and concerns, the worse it is from a friendship point of view. I'm going to tell you all a very interesting story. Actually, two little stories of the Mahabharata, but it's fascinating stories from a friendship point of view. And I can vouch for you that you all remember these stories for a long time. The first story is in the Mahabharata war when Krishna and Arjun were chasing Jayadratha. There's a particular point in time. And while they were chasing Jayadratha, it was, so Arjuna had taken a vow that by sunset he'll kill Jayadratha, right? If he doesn't kill, he will end his life. So it was a very crucial day of the war. So they began at sunrise and they were madly chasing Jayadratha. It was late afternoon. Only few hours left for sunset. Krishna tells Arjun, Arjun, we need to stop now. We need to take a break because the horses are exhausted. So Arjun said, fine, let's take a break. He created a wall of arrows. Now Arjun didn't tell, horses are more important or my life is more important. He said, fine, let's take a break. He created a wall of arrows. Krishna took the horses in, massaged them, gave them water, fed them grass, took good care of them. Almost like an hour they took a break. And then the war began again, So I'm just leaving this story aside. I'll come back to this story. The second story is when Karna became the commander of the Kaurava army. So when Karna became the commander-in-chief, he went to Duryodhan and he said, I can easily kill Arjun, but I have a problem. Duryodhan asked him, what's the problem? He said, my problem is, I don't have a chariot driver like Krishna. If I get a driver like Krishna, I can easily kill Arjun. It's like, small children sometimes, when they fail in exam, you ask them, why you failed? My pen was not good, Malab, kuch to excuse. So, Duryodhan said, where will I get a driver like Krishna for you now? So Karna said, see, in our army, there's one king named Shalya. And he is the best driver. If he becomes my driver, I can easily win the war. Duryodhan said, why will he become your driver? So Karna said, I don't know. You get him, then I'll win. So Duryodhan went to Shalya and he said, please, can you become Karna's driver? Shalya said, I'll become anybody else's driver except Karna's. He hated him, somehow. Some people's chemistry is bad, right? So Duryodhan pleaded with him, begged him, he said, and forced him and somehow convinced him to become driver. Shalya said, I'll become driver on one condition. I'll speak whatever I want. Duryodhan said, no problem. Speak, but you drive, So next day morning, this fellow went and got on the chariot and, Karna got in. Karna tells Shalya, take me to Arjun. Shalya says, looks like you want to die today. Imagine driver. So Karna says, why don't you just shut your mouth and drive? Shalya says, truth when spoken is always bitter. So Karna says, see, I think your parents didn't raise you properly. Shalya said, at least I know who my parents are. Do you know who your parents are? Karna said, people in Madhya Pradesh are all like this only. He started abusing the whole country now. Shalya said, see, I'll tell you a story. Imagine a war is going on and all arrows are flying. You are telling stories to each other. So Shalya tells Karna a story. He says, there was a crow. This was a show-off crow. And this crow knew 108 ways of flying. So it called all the birds in the jungle and it was showing off. I can fly this way, I can fly that way, all 108 ways it was showing. So the birds are fed up of this fellow. I said, show-offs, people get fed up easily. So the birds, they called the swan. And they told the swan that let's arrange a competition between the two of them. Let's see who flies the farthest. So they're very simple. They chose the ocean as the place. And whoever flies the farthest wins. The swan was flying straight, gliding smoothly over the ocean. And the crow was doing all 108 ways, flying this way, flying that way. After some time, the crow got exhausted. It was literally falling into the water, and he started shouting, please save me, The swan said, it looks like you found 109th way of flying inside the water. The crow said, no, I'll die, please save me. So the swan got him back. And they declared that the crow lost and the swan won. So Shalya tells Karna this story and tells him, you're like that crow and Arjun is like the swan. You speak too much, but don't do anything. Arjun does, but he doesn't speak much. Karna is so irritated with this guy. Finally, they reach where Arjun is. And Karna takes an arrow and he aims it at the neck of Arjun. Shalya is a warrior. He's a powerful warrior. He understands the aim. He tells Karna, you aim at the chest of Arjun. Don't aim at the neck. Karna says, no. Once I take aim, I never change it. Shalya says, you're not Lord Ram to say that. He says, you fool, you better change, otherwise you'll die. This guy doesn't listen, he shoots the arrow. And Krishna sees the arrow coming towards the neck of Arjun. And Krishna understands that Arjun is not going to be able to handle it. And Krishna does something simple. He hits his feet on the chariot. And as soon as Krishna hits the feet on the chariot, the horses understand, and all the horses fall on their knees. And the arrow passes over Arjun's head. Shalya turns towards Karna and tells him, I told you. And their fight continues, basically. But I'll stop and I'll analyze these two stories from a friendship point of view. In the first story, Krishna is communicating with the horses. The horses are feeling exhausted. Krishna understands. And Krishna is hitting his feet on the chariot and the horses understand. Perfect communication. Both of them from different species. Krishna is from human species, or horses are from animal species. Different language, different species, but communication perfect. And here, Karna and Shalya, two people from same species, speaking same language, but no communication happening. This guy trying to say something, he's not understanding. That guy is trying to say something, he's not understanding. The question is, in any relationships, any friendship, what is communication? How does communication happen? Why do breaks happen in communication? Today, we have so many devices of communication, right? Phones, mobiles, SMS, WhatsApp, what's not. So many ways of communication. But more communication devices, you think better communication is happening? Not at all. People are getting divorced over WhatsApp messages. Imagine, friendships are breaking. Ek aisa message bhej diya. Friendships are breaking over emojis. By mistake, ये emoji भेजना था, ये emoji भेज दिया. Khatam. Relationship is over. So the question is, what is communication? Therefore, my solution is very simple. And you please try to understand this. And this is very important. Before you communicate with each other, learn to connect with each other. Two mobile phones, if you want to transfer data from this phone to this phone, first what do? Bluetooth pairing, isn't it? Without pairing, you say, you can't send data from this phone to this phone. Connection has to be there first. Most people today are experts in communicating because they learn English in school. Whatever language we learn in your schools and colleges. We are very good at communicating, but we are very bad at connecting. And what is the meaning of connecting? How do you connect? You connect when you learn to see the needs, interests, and concerns of the other person. Krishna was able to see the needs, interests, and concerns of the horses. They were getting exhausted. Krishna saw it. And because he understood their needs, interests, and concerns, the horses understood his needs, interests, and concerns when he needed it, right? On the other hand, Shalya and Karna never understood Shalya's need. What is Shalya's need? He was a king. His need is respect. Don't treat him like a driver. He's a king, Baba. You can't treat him like a driver. If Karna had only respected Shalya, Shalya would have been his best friend. And what was Karna's need? Karna's need was not driver. He said, I need driver like Krishna. But he actually meant, I need a friend like Krishna. So Shalya's need was a friend. And Karna's need was friend. And Shalya's need was respect. Because Karna didn't understand the need of Shalya, Shalya never understood Karna's need. That's why connection, because there was no connection, there was no communication. Right? So in friendship, for friendship to really last and for friendship to be really deep, it is important that we learn to invest in the needs, interests, and concerns of the other person. And I'm going to end today's session by showing you all a very interesting slide. Can you see these two lizards here? And I'm going to end today's session by this story, okay? Once in Japan, they were constructing a house. And while constructing the house, a lizard came and somehow they hit a nail on the leg of the lizard. And the lizard got stuck to the wall, The nail was driven through the leg of this lizard. And after that, nobody saw it actually. They put a cupboard in front of it, and the lizard remained there for 10 years. Nobody touched that cupboard. Nobody moved that cupboard. After 10 years or so, they were doing some renovations. And when they moved it, they saw there's a lizard there stuck with a nail on his leg. Now the question is, this guy, one lizard stuck with a nail on his leg for 10 years, how did he survive? It seemed very healthy and fit. Because another lizard, a friend of his, was getting food for this guy for 10 years every single day. 10 years. Now tell me, what the fellow who is nailed can do for the other fellow? What can he do? Can he do anything? Nothing. Literally nothing. He's just stuck on the wall. Friendships are not about expecting anything in return. If you expect something in return, you won't get much. The idea of friendship is you should give 100%, as much as you can. And I'll end with a very interesting story from Mahabharata, since we're talking about expectations. After the Mahabharata war, one Yudhishthir was a king, right? One man came running to Bhima, and he told Bhima, I have a big problem. Can you please help me? So this man, Bhima was confused. He said, please tell me what's your problem. This man said, I have one big pot, and I have 5 small pots. So I filled water in the big pot one day, and from that big pot, I emptied the big pot into 5 small pots. So there was no water in the big pot, and the 5 small pots were full. And then I put the water back from the 5 small pots into the big pot. And this time, the big pot was half full. So he asked Bhima, where did the half water go? Bhima said, I don't know. I can't. He said, if you have to fight with somebody, ask me, Intelligent questions I can't answer. He took him to Yudhishthir Maharaj. And they told the problem, Did you all understand what the problem is? He had one big pot and 5 small pots. He transferred the water from the big pot was full. He transferred the water in the 5 small pots. And transferred the water from the 5 small pots back into the big pot, and it was half full. Yudhishthir said, as soon as he heard the problem, he said, Kali Yuga has begun. They said, what do you mean by Kali Yuga has begun? Yudhishthir said, in Kali Yuga, if you give 100% love to somebody, you get only 50% back in return. So in friendships, you give 100% to others, but expect how much? 50% in return. Other 50% will come from somebody else. Don't expect from the same person, right? Most people, the problem is, you give 100% to one person, you expect that person only to give you 100% back. It won't happen. People won't value in the exact same way, right? So you give your best, but you don't expect in return. So I'll just quickly summarize everything we spoke. We spoke about the 4 levels of friendship, which are Bandhus, Sakhas, Priya Sakhas, and Suhrit. And then we spoke about the idea of like-mindedness. Do you remember the story we spoke about? Which story? The monkey and the crocodile, right? And then we spoke about the principle of the mirror and the lens. The mirror should be used to see our own faults. Unfortunately, we use the mirror, we can't see our own faults. We see only good in ourselves. But the lens should be actually used to see good in others. We use it to see bad in others. And then we spoke about how we are not a Superman. I don't know everything. It is so important to understand that I don't know everything. Only then I'll be open to other people's suggestion. I'll be open to hearing other people. Otherwise, I'm only doing buck all the time. I'm only speaking, right? So we shouldn't become like narcissists. And then finally, we spoke about this idea of a friend in need is a friend indeed. Try to spend as much of time as possible trying to serve others, taking care of the needs, interests, and concerns of others. When you take care of the needs, interests, and concerns of others, then they will in turn take interest in your needs, interests, and concerns. Before you communicate with others, learn to connect with others. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So thank you for your wonderful appreciation. Actually, Prabhuji has a lot to share. We had limited time, and it's a really the thing in our life, friendship, right? So, just we go to our question answer session. I would like to inform you that this is a book Prabhuji has written, The Magic of Friendships, and it is very wonderful book, and it has a lot of things. Personally, I have read it and found it's very important to understand what is real friendship. There are a lot of stories in here and well thought of. It will be really helpful. And one thing I can tell you is, if you go and do that exercise, what is the exercise? Find 4 levels. Bandhus? Okay, so you will get at least 10 in the list. Okay, so what we learned today is to become a good. So if you want to become good friend, at least give this book to your friend. This I can feel from my heart. अपने friends को हम ये book पक्का दे सकते हैं खुद के लिए और उसको. This is one of the best thing you can share with them. And one good announcement is it is for 200 rupees, but there is a discount of 50 rupees. And the icing on cake is Prabhuji is going to sign on the book. If you buy it, he will be there at the bookstall. So let us thank now Prabhu by loudly chanting 3 times. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So we have some 10 minutes. So if we have any questions, अगर किसी को कोई प्रश्न है, so you can. जय श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ भगवान की, गोपाल जी भगवान की, श्री गौर निताय भगवान की. So if you have any question, you can raise your hand. We'll send the mic. किसी का कुछ प्रश्न है तो हाथ ऊपर कर सकते हैं. Okay, okay. There is one person. Mic पीछे दे सकते हैं. किसी को है? आपको ठीक है.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
My question is how to develop the ability so that we can see others' benefits and our faults. Means we can see others' qualities and our faults. How we can develop these abilities?
So, thank you for your question. My understanding is, in each and every person, there is one good quality at least. Try to meditate on that one good quality. You may not be able to get it immediately, but to find good qualities in others, you have to observe them for some time. थोड़े समय के लिए observe कीजिए उनको. When you observe them, you will easily be able to find 1 or 2 good qualities. And when you find 1 or 2 good qualities, meditate on those good qualities for some time. And the most amazing thing is, when you meditate on the good qualities of others, it actually becomes a part of yourself. You start developing it yourself. So observation and meditation. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So we have one more question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, thank you so much for your class and आपने जिस हिसाब से सब stories बताई हैं, it will really help us. Prabhuji, my question to you is, सबसे पहले क्या वो जो echo की story हो क्या सही है क्या? मतलब ऐसा जो mountains में होता है? Because वो होता है echo. तो एक तो ये है. And second question is, प्रभु जी, जैसे आपने बताया कि जो 4 level of friendships होते हैं हमारे, देखो अगर रियलिस्टिकली हम बात करें तो जैसे हमने कैटेगराइज कर लिया कि चलो ये मेरा ये फ्रेंड है, ये मेरा ये फ्रेंड है, ये मेरा ये फ्रेंड है. एंड व्हेन यू रीच आउट टू अ पर्सन, ओके टुडे ही इज अवेलेबल, ही हेल्प मी, इट्स फाइन, यू नो, बट अगेन आई एम इन अ नीड, यू नो, आई एम अगेन अप्रोचिंग एंड समहाउ यू नो वो नहीं क्लिक होता है, वो नहीं हो रहा है. रियलिस्टिकली ऐसा होता है, यू नो, सम पर्सन इज नॉट देयर एंड यू नो. तो प्रभु जी मतलब इसमें अपग्रेड्स डिग्रेड्स ये सब होते हैं क्या, या मतलब वी शुड बी कंसिडरेट कि चलो यार मतलब he has helped me in past and you know I should be you know because मैंने उसको कैटेगराइज किया ना कि ये मेरा प्रिय सखा है, ये मेरा ये है, बट फिर मैं उसको ये कर दूंगा नीचे, फिर अगेन आई एम लोनली, यू नो सब. सो मतलब शुड वी
Got it. I got your point. ये स्टॉक मार्केट नहीं है, वो भाव ऊपर यार. अब क्या किसी को ज्यादा भाव देते हैं तो ऊपर करते हैं, कम भाव देते हैं. वो हमको कम भाव देता है तो हम नीचे कर देते हैं उसका भाव. So thank you for your question. So the first thing is about the eco story. It hardly matters whether it is true or not. What is more important is what we learn from it, right? So I usually tell people, don't get stuck with the details of the story. Go to the essence. Essence is always more important than the detail, you know. Whether eco exists or no, narcissism exists in us. वो तो fact है. तो उस पे focus करो, तो it's better. And as far as expectations is concerned, as I said, that's why I told the story of that pots. It is better to have less expectations from people and not get disappointed, rather be grateful, than have more expectation people than be ungrateful. So the more expectations you have, the more you have reasons to be ungrateful. The less expectation you have more reasons to be grateful. So suppose, you know, you call somebody for your birthday party, and you expect that ये आदमी ना मेरे लिए iWatch लेके आएगा. लाया सैमसंग का वॉच. So then you feel disappointed. क्यों? Expectation इतना ऊंचा रखा था. But if you expect that this person will give me nothing, और सैमसंग का वॉच मिल गया, you feel grateful, isn't it? Therefore, the best way to live life is, especially with friends, is expect nothing from them. Expectation is the seed of all misery. जो frustrated लोग होते हैं ना, उनका expectation level बहुत high रहता है. So we'll do really well in life if we can just reduce our expectations.
Hare Krishna. So last question, then. Okay. He had said. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for a wonderful class. My question is, like, you know, sometimes we have Priya Sakha, we have Sakha. So maybe Priya Sakha don't like the Sakha, or Sakha may not like the Priya Sakha. So, and you know, both are like-minded and both are helpful to me. I like both of them. Or, you know, both are Priya Sakhas, you know. So at that point, like, I should choose one of the person, or, you know, I should, what I should do in that situation.
In the book, there is an entire chapter on how to deal with possessive people. Definitely read that. But in essence, the answer is, at least what I would suggest is, you will always come across situations in life where you find people who are very possessive about a relationship, about a person like that. But what we really need to help people understand is that one person doesn't have to just have one friend. ऐसा कभी होगा ही नहीं. It's not possible only, you know. Human beings need a variety of connections and relationships, right? We should encourage them to become broad-minded, not narrow-minded. In fact, that may be the struggle of that person. See, there are some people whose weakness is over-possessiveness. So a good friend is someone who helps the friend overcome their weakness and deal with their weakness, right? So you might find that your friend may have 100 good qualities, but this over-possessiveness is a weakness. And if you don't help them deal with that over-possessiveness, the same over-possessiveness will be in all relationships of his life. In future, he gets married, you know, and that person talks to anybody else. Usko gussa aayega. Because that is a weakness that he or she has to deal with, right? So it is a duty of you as a friend to help those two people who are going through that struggle, you know, power struggle or whatever struggle it is, to help them deal with it and reconcile. And that's how you are serving them and helping them. And when you take care of them, you also will become peaceful. Right? Make sense?
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Very, very grateful to all of you all for your patient listening and enthusiastic participation. And hopefully whatever I've said today will really help you all in your journeys of life, especially choosing those 5 people who you will be an average of. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So one beautiful thing I want to share with you is Prabhuji's lot of lectures are there on YouTube and lot of substance is there which is helpful. So I request you, definitely everyone wants to have, I am seeing many hands raising. So after the lecture you can meet Prabhuji for your questions. And of course on online there are systematic presentations on Ramayana also and variety of topics on leaderships. So it's unlimited jewels he is carrying, he is distributing wholeheartedly, is giving 100%. So please log on to shubhavilas.com, right? True? shubhavilas.com, and you can find on that website more details. So today's announcements, we would like to welcome the newcomers. जो लोग पहली बार आए हैं प्रेरणा फेस्टिवल के लिए वो लोग जगह पे खड़े हो सकते हैं. First time those who have come, please stand up. Yeah, almost half of the hall. Hare Krishna. Okay. Hare Krishna. So thank you for coming to the Prerana festival, and it gives us immense joy to be with you. And let's be connected to Radha Gopinath ji here. They are here to grace on all of us. So please keep coming. And for you especially, when you go for a prasad, after the prasad you go to the Bhakti Siddhanta hall. Which hall? Bhakti Siddhanta hall. You will get a special gift there. Hare Krishna. Please be seated. Hare Krishna. Also, we would like to thank our special guests. We are very grateful you took your valuable time. You came here. And we wish you keep coming here. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So now, important announcement. Today's Prerana services, the morning sabji cutting is done by the IYS devotees who are guided by Mukund Mala Prabhu, Hari Bolan Prabhu, Sachi Sucharan Prabhu. So morning they came, 8 of the devotees, they had vegetable cutting for all of you. So let us thank them by loudly chanting 3 times. Oh, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. And today's evening services, around 25 volunteers have come from His Grace Krishna Gaur Prabhu's group. So also we will also thank them by loudly chanting 3 times. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. And the next Prerana festival is on 21st of May. And the speaker is one of the most enthusiastic leading IYS preacher. Guess? Satyanand Prabhu. And the topic is great things for great life. Great things for? Okay, Hare Krishna. So we'll have Kirtan. So in Kirtan we'll be having dancing in circle. Okay? सब लोग कीर्तन कीजिए, डांस कीजिए, लेकिन सर्कल में कीजिए. Hare Krishna. So we request Anjani Putra Prabhu to come and sing.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo, bolo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo, bolo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo, bolo, bolo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo, 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 bolo. बजाओ यार, बजाओ बजाओ.
स्लो क्या जरा स्लो जरा फास्ट हो रहा है बस.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo, bolo. Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Nacho nacho. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare